Alright, it is 9:35. I'll probably be out of the trade right now because we just had this candle open past the uptrending trend line, but this thing can easily just catch itself and continue the uptrend or maybe downtrend a little bit. Maybe hold VWAP and then continue the uptrend. But this thing is really impressive because it's been uptrending with a lot of volume. And you see this big seller at 40 on that 45,000 share seller. It was quickly taken out. And that has been consistently what this stock has been doing. There have been a lot of big sellers at the ask and they just get wiped out instantly. This is pretty nice. I was looking at it because it was looking like it was going to break above this major resistance level of 420. And I like how we opened right here and it kind of traded back and forth. Even offered a little bit of a dip here, like a dip and rip. Not able to hold above VWAP, but once it did, and we broke this level of 409, and then it was breaking also 410, which had a lot of sellers at the ask. That's when I entered. I bought 75 shares at 410. I'm not sure if I had the right amounts of size, but I did buy right here at 932 when it was breaking past again the top of this range right here, and it was going to likely close above VWAP as well. I didn't trade this one very well. I just was kind of thrown off with how many big sellers there were at the ask, even though it was constantly getting taken out. And I did sell at 415, which was right here, all of the position. So many things I could have done better. I could have sold a portion of my position, instead of everything. It just was really dumb, and I should have stuck to a trend line because this one would have allowed me to have hold on to the position until the sell when it opened under the trend line, and then that would have been much higher than where I sold. So that's one thing to take into consideration. I hope I can do better than that because that was pretty stupid. But I've just been jaded. Like the past trades, this entire week have just been crap. So that's another thing to take into consideration. But I'm glad, I got to trade something that really worked out, even if I wasn't in all the way. Um, yeah, it's just, this thing might even be aggressive enough if it tries to. Although it's already broken past this uptrending trend line, it could try to regain itself at the trend line or maybe like right under it. I've seen that happen a lot. Usually on listed stocks, but it can happen here too. I'll make an update later. There isn't anything else that I'm really interested in. I'll be looking for more setups, especially if this one has a dip buy opportunity. Otherwise, I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 10:06. I had another trade with this stock, and this was another setup that I could have done. I missed out on this one. I traded something here, but I did like how it was downtrending. I was looking at this first for like a bull flag setup, so we have like the big spike and everything, and then it sells up. But then it was looking a little too crazy, and it broke under the VWAP level, and then it started the downtrend, and then it was like a very, I don't want to sound arrogant, but it really looks like it was going to be super hard for it to break below this 413 level. And with the way the candles were looking and everything, the price action, I just hesitated on it. And that was my bad because I didn't make very much on the first trade. And then I thought, well, then I tried this one and this one doesn't work out. Then I just lose everything and I'm red. But this one did work out and it did get to VWAP. I would have sold. I would have been in at like 416, 415. And I would have sold at VWAP, although I did get a bit higher. And then it did like a little downtrend right here. And once we saw this price action where it was breaking this upper range, this 424 level, I did enter at 10:03, which was right here, 150 shares at now having the right amount of shares to trade $100 risk level. I had just half of it. The first trade I didn't have enough shares. At 10:03, I did buy again 150 shares at this point right here at 426, and I had this trend line that it was already trading off of, and I did sell a piece, half of my position at break even at 10:06 because the price action wasn't looking that nice, and it was right here at 10:06 when I got out, half of my position, and then I got out of the rest once it was officially breaking below the trend line. And this thing might even make like another higher low and then continue the option, but It was nice. It was a nice setup because it was breaking past this right here, and then this thing has really aggressive price action when it's uptrending, which is nice. And then the ideal level would have been a move towards the high a day or even breaking above it, and then continuously uptrending. But it didn't do that, unfortunately. So I got out when it broke officially under the trend line, and that's fine. It could try to do it later, sure, but I'm glad that I tried it, even though this one didn't work out. And if I were to try this one would have been a lot nicer. And I like also how I traded this one a lot better than my first trade because I used the trend line and I sold once it got past it. And if I were to have done that with this trade here at what was it, 410, I would have been a lot more profitable. So yeah, I'm glad that this is a lot better than my first trade, even though this one didn't work out. I could have worked out and that would have been super profitable. I'll keep looking for setups. I'm probably going to stick to this one. I mean, GTII is dead, and I know there's a lot of bag holders stuck in this. You just can't trust the freaking promoters out there. You can't be, you can only make this mistake once. If you do it again, you just subconsciously like to lose money, I guess. Uh, I saw this one for the uptrend. It looks like it's nothing I can really do with this one anymore. I'm still interested in Rivian for like a swing, but the way it is trading, I want to see if it's just going to continue the downtrend or if it's going to try to put up a higher low at some point. Looking at this chart, and then maybe I could be more interested in trading it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. This one is nice, super nice volume, super nice price action. This is something that I could easily not just trade. What I'm trading right now, 150 shares, I could trade, you know, 4,000, 5,000 shares easily, and be in and out of this. It has that kind of volume, so I hope I can see more stuff like this and trade it better. And I'll make an update later. The main thing I'll be looking for now is a high day breakout setup if that presents itself, or some kind of maybe ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle as well. That wouldn't be too bad. I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 10:10 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be up on a day. Just $3. One horrible trade with DIDY that I could have done so much better. And then one trade right here, which wasn't bad. I tried it well and I had at least the right amount of signs as well. Again, that first trade with DIDY was that, let me see if I can find it. It was this setup right here. I traded it horribly because the setup was good. I bought right at 410 when it was looking like it was going to break that level right there in the morning, and it closed above VWAP and it continued on, but I didn't use a trend line. I just got out when I was just thrown off, scared, and that was just really stupid because I would have been a lot more profitable if I stuck to the trend line, and it went pretty high. I would have had to have sold, I think at this point when it opened under the trend line, and that would have been a sell much higher in the 420s, but I just could have done that one better. And then I hesitated on this one. This one ended up working out. And then I did try this one right here. This one did not work out, but I'm glad that I tried it because it could have worked out right then and there, and it could have been super profitable. And what it ended up doing was closing actually just slightly under VWAP, but it eventually made a move towards the upside, and then it did break out this range, and then I hesitated on this one too, and this one continued to run a bit higher, so that really stinks. And then I was no longer at the markets. I was doing other things. I got busy, but this was nice later on in the day too. I like how it broke past the range right here, and then it kind of came back, but was a higher low off of this level, and then that made a really nice run up. um, I'm thankful for God for this setup, and I hope I can be able to trade Monday. I will be watching this over all the other ones because this is the best stock right now, the best OTC. It was usually GTII, but now that one has been drying up and trading with an ugly spread. This is the one to look at now. And HKD, I like how, I had that day yesterday, right? And then it had this really nice gap up in the 50s, but it kind of sold off afterwards. It wasn't really much of a setup, but still very interesting nonetheless. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still looking at Rivian for a potential swing trade at some point, but really unhappy with the way I traded this one. I at least had a second trade that was a lot better, but this clearly shows that I have a long way to go, unfortunately, and I have to just keep going. I am thankful for God for these setups, and God willing, on Monday I can be able to trade again, and I will look at this. I hope I can, just do better in that sense, but I'm thankful that we have this one running here, and I had a chance of being super profitable if I traded better and stuck to my rules, and this is a great reminder as to why the rules I made are so good to follow. That's it for today.